Amanda cashed in her 401k to do what? Listen, anyone who knows me knows that I mom hard, and there's nothing that I love more than being a mother. So you will be shocked when I say that when I found out I was expecting my precious little guy, I absolutely 100% thought I was going to put him in daycare after I had him and went back to work. What? Because that's anything but what I actually did. Let me explain how we got there to the point where I was able to be a stay-at-home mom. So this is the story. Long story short, well, it's an Amanda story, so it's going to be a little lengthy because I can't do it any other way. But I had my precious baby. I loved being a mom so much. I took the full 3 months that I was allowed off. Somehow I was managing to get paid for the entire 3 months, which is a blessing and not something that always happens for so many individuals. So I was so grateful. 2 weeks before I was supposed to go back to work, my boss gave me a jingle. And my phone rang, and it was back when there was landlines. So he called my landline, and I knew it was him because it said work. And I picked up, and I fully intended on saying the words, "This will be my day that I come back." But instead, all Amanda could do was cry. And I said, "I can't come back." I had no clue those words were going to come out of my mouth, but at the end of the day, that's just something in me mustered out, and that's what came out. And I meant every word of it, but I couldn't believe I was saying those words because I had no plan prior to that statement of how I was actually going to make this happen. Amanda just kind of flies by the seat of her pants sometimes. That's what Amanda does. So those words came out. I didn't know how I was going to follow through with it financially, but I didn't really care anymore. I had said the words, and I think I knew in my heart for a long time that that's what had to happen, but I just didn't think it was an option. And so I felt very strongly that that's what the Lord was saying that I needed to do with my little guy. And so the words came out, and my boss at the time said these words to me, and I could not help. I'm just crying as I'm talking to him. He says, "That is such great news. Take care of that little guy." Look, I'm like tearing up now thinking about that someone took the time to say those words to me. He was a very religious man, and his name was Gary Grew. If he happens to have Facebook, which I don't think he does, tag him because I've lost contact with him. Amazing man. Amazing man. And those words were like exactly what I needed to hear to be able to move on and just be that stay-at-home mom. And I knew right then and there that everything was going to be fine. I didn't think it was going to be easy, but I knew it would be fine. So he wished me the best. I had to go and do all my formal resignation and all that good stuff, which was, fine. And I said my goodbyes. Everyone wished me well, and I was so grateful for that exit. It was so meaningful to me. But then the reality sank in, I just quit my job, and Marcus doesn't know. So this is what happened when Marcus came home from work that day. He walks in. I said, "How was your day?" He says, "Fine, how was yours?" And I was like, "Well, I quit work today." Without hesitation, he said, "Okay, you take care of the bills, so you know better than I if we can afford that." Those were his words to me. He might have been scared to death and absolutely have no clue how we were going to make it. But the damage had already been done, and he knows me well enough to know that when I get something in my head, it's not getting out. It's not. So there we were, and I was so grateful for that moment too. My day was going great. My boss congratulated me, and my husband accepted my decision. I was so grateful. It was at that moment that I knew my decision was completely right for my family. And it didn't mean that we weren't going to struggle and it was going to be easy, because it wasn't. It was a daily struggle to make this work, but it was so worth it to me. So now that the damage was done, I had to figure out, how can I make this work? And so thankfully, Marcus and I, at a very young age, had very good jobs, and we started socking away into our 401k from the age of 18, as soon as we could start contributing. So I immediately thought, well, why not pull out on that? And I know financial people are probably going, oh no, she didn't. And all I can say is, oh yes, I did. It was worth it to me. I would have the rest of my life to pay it back, to fluff that account again. And to be honest, we're from a generation that may never retire. We really might not. Standard of living is so different. So it seemed what was so right at that time, because Lord, did we have bills. And those bills needed to get paid off so we could at least make our budget work. So without hesitation, we filled out the paperwork and we withdrew both of our 401ks. And yes, we were taxed on it. But that allowed us, that amount that I pulled allowed us to breathe a little easier on a monthly basis, to be able to make me be able to be a stay-at-home mom, because at this point it was so important to me. And at the end of the day, all I truly wanted was if I could just give him that first year of me, that he knew me as his mom. He knew his dad, as his caregiver. And when the time when he couldn't sit up on his own, he had my arms to catch him. That when he couldn't walk on his own, he had my hands to guide him. That was so important to me. I wanted him to know me, and I wanted to know my son. I didn't want anyone else to take that place. And so I am not in any way saying that the only option for families is to be, a stay-at-home mom. That is not the case. Happy mom, happy baby. And for me, I could have only been happy being at home with my little guy. He needed me, and I needed him. What I want you to take most away from this video is, where there's a will, there is a way. So if something's clawing at your heart, find a way to make it come to life. And sometimes it takes drastic actions, like me taking out from my 401k. That to me was worth it, because I would have the rest of my life to give it back. I only had so many years with my little guy. So find a way to make what your passion is, or what is really eating at your heart, come to life. I know you can do it. Sometimes it takes some creative planning, and sometimes it just takes a huge leap of faith and letting the words that you've been wanting to say, or what you've been feeling in your heart, come out. This is going to be an ongoing series of how the heck Amanda got to be a stay-at-home mom, and the struggles that we had to get there. And every sacrifice was worth it for my family. But I'm not going to lie, this road was not easy. To the point of, I may have sold some plasma to make ends meet. So that's a whole different story, and that's going to be the next video that I do. But until next time, listen to your heart, follow your dreams, and make it work. And again, where there's a will, there's a way. Don't forget to hit the like button if you made it this far. I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, have a great day. Talk to you later.